Hello, I'm Elliot Katz. Are you a woman who's frustrated with the man in your life? Then tell him to watch this video. Are you a man who feels women have lost respect for you and you can't understand why? Let me tell you my story. I was married for 10 years, then I got divorced, and like a lot of people, at first I blamed the other person, and then I came to the realization of asking myself, what do I have to learn from this? I don't want to go through this again. So I set off on a journey to learn what it means to be a man in a relationship. The first thing I learned was I listened to other men and we're all confused, we're all unsure. We listen to all these messages about being sensitive and developing our feminine side, and it's not working and we don't know what to do. The next thing I did was I started reading books on relationships. I read a mountain of books and they really didn't say anything to me about what it means to be a man in a relationship. And then when I turned to the teachings that fathers and other older male role models used to teach younger men about being a man, I was blown away because they coincided with what I heard women complain is lacking in men today. They don't show leadership, they don't make decisions, and they don't take responsibility. There seems to be this giant disconnect between all the messages that men have been told of what they're supposed to be and then what women really want. I realized that this is the underlying problem in many relationships today. That men today were not taught what it means to be a man like men used to be taught. And this has led to women being frustrated with men not being respected, and to couples breaking up, to divorce, children being from divorced families, and the financial cost of divorce. To share what I learned on how men can improve their relationships and save their marriage, I wrote this book, Being the Strong Man a Woman Wants, Timeless Wisdom on Being a Man. I thought the book was for a small number of men, but when the book was translated into 24 languages by publishers in Europe, Asia, Latin America, and Africa, I realized this is a common situation that men face. Men all over the world are reading this book to improve their relationships and save their marriage. I used to tell men, don't show the books to your wives, just do it. You'll see there'll be an improvement in your relationship. What happened? Women tell the men, read this book. This is what I've been trying to tell you all this time. So for men who need to be convinced, here is feedback the book has received from women.
If my husband of 38 years had understood these basic but crucial truths, my marriage would not have disintegrated. This is a great analysis of what it takes to be a man. Unfortunately, my ex-husband had none of those traits. It's hard to respect a man who refuses to be a man. The last thing I want is for my husband to let me wear the pants in the relationship. I need my husband to take charge and be the man of the house.
Here are 3 of the lessons I learned. Lesson number 1, show leadership. If a man wants to have a good relationship with his wife and be a good father to his children, he must show his share of leadership at home. When he sees a situation that needs to be dealt with, he needs to step forward and handle it. Why do so many men wait for their women to take the lead? I couldn't count the number of women who have told me that men ask them out and then can't even choose a place to go for a cup of coffee. These men think they're being non-controlling nice guys and can't understand why women are so frustrated with them. Leadership is thinking about the greater good of your family and doing what's best. Leadership is not being controlling. A controlling person is only thinking about themselves. Lesson number 2, make decisions. A woman doesn't want a man who's controlling her, but she also doesn't want a man who doesn't make any decisions. Why do men do this? Because a lot of decisions don't really matter to them. For example, a wife calls her husband at work and says, what would you like for supper, chicken or fish? And he thinks, why is she calling me? I'm so busy. And he says, you're a great cook. Whatever you make will be good. So I tell him, she called you because she wants you to make the decision. Do it. Lesson number 3, take responsibility. A man is responsible for what goes on in his home. If he lets something go on that he knows is wrong, he can't avoid responsibility by blaming others. He is still responsible. There's little sympathy for a man who blames his wife for something that went wrong, even if she pushed him into it and it went wrong just like he thought it would. He is still responsible. Show your share of leadership, make your share of decisions, and take responsibility. You'll see the difference it makes in your relationship and your marriage. Here is feedback from men. This book has saved our marriage and is turning me into the strong man my wife desires. I can't tell you how many times my wife told me to grow up and be a man. I thought she was being ridiculous and overly dramatic. I thought I was being a good provider and a good father. I wish I had found this book a year ago. It could have saved my relationship. My wife and I are having extreme difficulties in our marriage. She has told me that she needs me to be stronger, to be a man. I cannot tell you how many times she has said that. I can never figure out what she meant. Men all over the world are reading this book to improve their relationships and save their marriage.
If you're interested in Elliott Katz's Being the Strong Man a Woman Wants, Timeless Wisdom on Being a Man, which shares more lessons on how men can improve their relationship, it's available as a paperback from Amazon and bookstores, and an ebook on Kindle, iBooks, and Kobo. If you would like Elliott Katz to be on your radio, TV program, or speak to your group, contact him at the address shown on the screen. He welcomes questions and comments.